Hello, everybody. This is Whole Views, where you come to get a complete review with a different perspective. My name is Corey, and welcome to the channel. So, some of y'all might be wondering, why would I even do this? Why would I start my own movie and television entertainment review page when there's so many other people doing it? For me, I would have to say because I love it. I would watch most of these movies and TV shows anyway, so I feel like why stop at just discussing it amongst myself and my friends? Why not put my viewpoints out there for the world to see? A little bit on my background. I worked at Blockbuster Video for a long time. I know that kind of dates me and puts my age out there, but I'm fine with that. In that time period while I was going through college, I watched everything that came out. Movies were the way I kind of made it through college, with the scheduling of classes and such. So I fell in love with film about 10, 15 years ago, really watching everything, taking everything into account. And I always felt like, yo, if I'm going to sit here and study it, if I'm going to sit here and watch it and absorb it and discuss it with friends and family, why not, let other people know what you're thinking and how you feel it. Another thing that I feel that, qualifies me to start doing movie punditry and commenting on movie news and different stories and different shows that's being shot is that I've been studying movie punditry as an art form, in itself for quite some time. I came up studying people like John Campea, Clark Wolf, Perry Nemiroff, that whole Collider mixture. Like I love their format from back when it was AMC. I studied those guys. I watched those guys over a long period of time, and people like Robert Burnett, who did Collider for a good while. He had a career in Hollywood as well. I don't want to discount that, but he did the Collider thing, and I saw him strike out on his own and doing his own thing. And I'm like, you know what? I think it's time for me to throw my hat in the ring too and start letting my opinions be known and my views be known. And also, I see through social media there's a need for people in my area. I'm local. I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana, and there's a lot of people that ask the question of what should I be watching? What's good? People don't want to invest hours of their time in a show that they don't tend to like, or it doesn't line up with their values, or it doesn't line up with their morals. So for me, I want to come at it from a kind of a different perspective. When I say different, I'm thinking of a Christian angle. I am a believer in Jesus Christ. I do follow Christ, and I think to myself that I don't want to recommend something to somebody if they're not there. You know what I mean? Like if they're not in a place where they can see graphic violence, or if they're not in a place where they could see the occasional sex scene and still be okay. I never want to do anything to damage anyone's soul or anything like that. So for me, it all goes back to scripture as far as the angle that I'm taking to approach whole views, giving a complete review with a different perspective. So I'm gonna read this scripture that kind of supports my viewpoints when it comes to advising people on what to watch. It's 1 Corinthians 8:13. Please forgive me for reading straight off the screen to you, but it goes, so if what I eat causes another believer to sin, I will never eat meat again as long as I live, for I don't want to cause another believer to stumble. So in that instance, it's talking about the food that you eat, but in my case here, I'm thinking about the things that you consume with your eyes, the things that you look at on a daily basis that could cause you to stumble. So for example, one of my shows that I'll be referring to a lot when it talks about the topic of sexuality and nudity and things like that in the show is Glow. I really like that show. It's a Netflix show, and when I think about it, I can't necessarily recommend that show to other people because I don't know where they are as far as seeing uh, alternative relationship styles on screen, or seeing some of the sex scenes are pretty graphic. Like I don't know where people are, so I don't want to recommend that. So when it comes to me doing my reviews, I'll give you the normal production as far as like acting, directing, editing, plot. Is it good? Is it not good? But then I'll also go into the Christian angle of, hey, if you have small kids, it's not something you can put on, while they're awake. If you're married and your wife is sensitive as to what you view, you may not want to view this. If you yourself are struggling with certain things, like just seeing people on screen casually take drugs, then maybe you may not watch this particular program. So That's really the need that I'm trying to fill with this channel, and I just hope that people understand and take it and ride with me on this journey. Some of the things that'll be happening on the channel is that I'll be doing television reviews. I'll be reviewing streaming services, like what to buy, what should you be spending your money on. There's a lot of hype right now about Disney Plus. People kind of brushing Netflix off to the side, you know, maybe in a joking way on social media, but I feel like pump the brakes on that. Maybe you shouldn't necessarily discount Netflix, because Netflix is actually, in my opinion, still the king of the hill, and I'll get into that in a later video. Of course, I'll be doing movie reviews, and eventually I want to get into doing a local thing. I know some people don't like to disclose a lot about where they're from or where they're at, but for me, I want to kind of keep it local, keep the Louisiana flavor alive. And you know, Lafayette is a place with a lot of culture. It's a place that has a lot of entertainers. I know a young man who's doing photography, might get into directing. I know we've produced a few actors and actresses that have left the area, and you know, they frequent the area every now and then. I know we have a whole lot of rappers and singers and people, local business owners. I want to kind of spotlight these people and put more eyes on them, so we could, you know, highlight ourselves and show the world about the community that we building down here in Lafayette, Louisiana. That is not just food and alligators and, you know, the normal Louisiana tropes and stereotypes that they put on us. But no, we're thriving. We have people that are doing things, and they need to have eyes on them. So that's one of the things I want to do in the future. But I pray that everybody joins me on my journey. One of my things that I'm going to be reminding people, and the reason why I'm doing this, is that I want everyone to enjoy themselves, but I also feel like people need to guard their hearts. So that's one thing I'll be saying each time I sign off is enjoy yourself, but guard your heart. And that's one of the things that I wanted people to know. Thank y'all so much, and I pray y'all come with me on the journey.